All right, the Boxing Source here. Thankful to be here with Carl Moretti, of course, of Top Rank. Of course, part of this press conference that happened earlier for Keyshawn Davis versus Edwin De Los Santos that'll be taking place at the Scope Arena, Norfolk, Virginia, June 7th. And hey, this is another one here for Scope Arena.
This is 2.0 this time, coming back as a world champion. We expect the same type of crowd, the energy be through the roof. And, if we had a bigger place, we'd be in a bigger place, but this is where we'll be. So it'll be 10,000 plus for sure.
Yeah, easily. Like I said, in the last time, we had the event there in November. Everything, went off great, and with him showing out there against Gustavo Lemos. And right after that, I talked with you and, you said they had a plan. And, hey, so far, pretty much follow through with the plan.
This is boxing. You usually don't have a plan,
but, exactly.
But so far, so good. So it was go win a world title in Madison Square Garden, of all places, and then come home and defend it. And that's exactly what will be happening June 7th.
Yeah, exactly. And, to have, DB3 be part of it here once again, makes it an even bigger event here, just to start off the summer here, first weekend in June. So to have, Keyshawn, Kelvin, Keon be part of it. Of course, you're going to have Troy Isley as part of the card as well. You got Abdullah Mason that's going to be going up against Nakathila here too. So it's a really, really big event once again in Norfolk.
Yeah, it's as much as it's about Keyshawn, there's a whole bunch of young guys that want to make their own marks, and that's exactly what they're doing. So why not let them shine on the same card and keep building their careers to where Keyshawn is? And that's the beauty of these things, is you get to see these guys develop and go further each time out.
Yeah, exactly. Like I was saying, it's that card. You're going to have Tiger Johnson on there as well. You got Troy Isley there, of course, middleweight contender and things like that. So he definitely will be a part of this as well. Coming up from Alexandria, and that's about a 3.5 hour drive.
Right down 64.
Well, 64 is one thing, but going through 95 and doing the whole thing, Woodbridge and all that type of stuff, I'm like, oh, nah. You see, that's what I got to go through and try to get down here, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so, it's all a show.
Yeah. So it's definitely a good little experience for people within the state of Virginia to come here to the Scope Arena for this fight card coming up June 7th.
I think we've been getting calls from people from Raleigh and Charlotte and Atlanta even, and up to D.C. and Maryland, and then a little west in Tennessee and stuff. So, people watch TV at home and they see big events in Vegas and New York City. When it's closer to their house, they want to be there in person, and that's kind of the reaction we're getting when you come to Norfolk, because you're getting people really from a 400-mile radius coming in to see it. It's beautiful.
Exactly. And with this being the first offense there at the WBO lightweight title there for Keyshawn Davis, he's definitely wants to go up and show out here, coming up for June 7th, and like you were saying there in the press conference, as you said, part of the plan, getting him here once again to defend the title, but also there might be something else in the plan, so you may be, talking in a little bit with someone in particular. I pretty much may have an idea of who that is, but it's just, hey, they gotta just go ahead and follow up with it. That's my thing.
We tell Keyshawn everything what's next, because whatever's next is the most important fight in his career, because it's the next fight.
Right.
We can afford ourselves to look down the road in 9 months, and 7 months, and 1 year, and a year and a half, and plot out a path of where we think we can go with him. But when speaking to him, it's all about June 7th, because that's what's next. We can talk about everything else June 8th.
Yeah.
In our own meetings and all, we can lay out what we think is next.
Yeah, exactly. And you also talked about the thing there with Kelvin Davis, being a contender there at 140 pounds. And when I was talking with him in February, he's like, we talked about that thing as far as like the belts being like hot potato, particularly with the WBA, right? Yeah. But also, like you were saying, a number of these title contenders or former world title contenders could have been here, to step up against Kelvin Davis, and wouldn't even get.
Nah, listen, we've all been in that position where guys turn down fights. It's okay. It's part of the business.
Yeah.
But he's quietly and not so quietly, he's starting to niche out his own career. I think because of the division that he's in, it's got so many, guys at different levels that you can pick something or go after somebody, and it'll lead to something. And he's fortunate enough to fight in that weight class right now. So let's see where it brings.
Yeah, it's a very diverse weight class there. 140, multiple champions. There are multiple contenders, multiple former world champions there at 140 pounds too. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of names there. And then also you got Keyshawn Davis that's going to be fighting here once again at Scope Arena. There, I was there for his pro debut, of course, and he had a great showing there, and he's been doing great here in fight by fight, particularly February 14th when he got the stoppage. So he's back here once again.
He's back here, and he's really, he reminds Bob Arum a lot of Tommy Hearns because of his build, and he's got a right hand that's beautiful. And he just works, and he's the quietest of the bunch. He doesn't say much at all, but that's okay. That'll come out eventually. But he's really, you could see. I mean, he's going to move to 6 rounds and 8 rounds pretty soon. He can handle that because of his amateur background, and then keeps knocking guys out. That's what people want to see.
Yeah, exactly. Show up and knock people out. That'll get the crowd
show out. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. So we got this big event here coming up June 7th. Looking forward to it. Like I said, tickets on sale. You'll start tomorrow. But hey, we know it's going to be another sellout. We know it's going to be another sellout.
Get your tickets now. It'll be fun.
It's going to be real fun. But big thanks, brother Carl, for chopping up with the Boxing Source, and we'll see you again soon.
Much appreciated.
Yep.